You may go here to buy a pencil or a bagel, but one of the Midwest's best sources for art books hasn't always been a top-of-the-line operation.
I started it with $50 on a card table.
But Patty Pizzo's presence in the community goes back even farther than that.
Patty's been volunteering in the community since the 1950s. Gosh, her history of volunteering is really huge and vast.
But Patty was not always so welcome in Bloomington.
Our kind of pain that we suffered during the McCarthy times, because we were Democrats and all the other doctors were kind of not Democrats. We got calls saying, get out of town. A doctor would come by Tony's office and say, don't bother buying a house because you're not going to be here very long.
But stay she did. And 55 years of service later, even the freshest minds can't remember all the ways she's pulled her own weight in the community.
She is on the board at Sycamore Land Trust. She volunteers in the Monroe County Historical Society. She volunteers at Opportunity House, which is a local resale store. She's also part of the Bloomington Arts Commission. She volunteers in the Monroe County.
We see you looking at that paper, Christine, but you still forgot a few, including the Lilly Library and IU Society of Music. But despite all that Patty has achieved, she's still not satisfied.
I feel constantly guilty about the things I haven't done.
Lisa Simmons works with Patty at the Monroe County Historical Society.
You'll see her name around town. She's had her hand in a lot of different things. I don't know if she could even list off everything.
Let's see, what other volunteer work do I do? Seems to me I'm always busy, so I must be doing a lot of other volunteer work.
Even though Patty works for free, Simmons says her service is priceless.
It's so nice to have somebody who's been here for a long time to bring that memory, to be able to answer any question when somebody comes in the door. And if she doesn't know, you better believe it, she's on her cell phone calling somebody who she knows the answer to get the answer for the person.
Yes, things grow and spread when you have ideas of what things should be and how they could be.
With little left to prove, Patty has set her sights on the Sycamore Land Trust.
Preserving nature, preserving the land so that it isn't all completely occupied by houses and factories and developments. That needs to happen. When my children come back here to visit, and they do quite often, the first thing they do is go off into the woods. So that should be available for everybody, to go off and stand under a tree and let the leaves fall on you. Look up at the sky.
After 55 years in Bloomington, Patty doesn't like the way things are heading.
I don't understand why people think that growth is such a spectacular thing as far as towns and businesses are concerned. And population, I should add. I've also worked for Planned Parenthood at some point.
So says the woman with 8 children. But when child rearing and volunteering were not enough, Patty took an unexpected step.
I had to start from the beginning. I had to start taking a freshman class. And it was so embarrassing because, again, I was the only older person in the school. And here's a freshman kid teaching freshman composition, and they asked him a question about Abraham Lincoln, or in the Lincoln debates. Said he couldn't answer the question, but probably Mrs. Pizzo in the back of the room there could answer the question. What did I know about Abraham Lincoln? I think he thought I was alive during the time that Abraham Lincoln was alive. I really did. It was crazy.
With 2 degrees and more volunteer hours than she could possibly remember, Patty is still joining new groups.
I belong to a group who are talking about impeaching Cheney. I even have a hat in there that says impeach Cheney.
A recent birthday girl of 80, Patty knows she can only volunteer so much longer.
I'm going to die. That's what's next for me. Reaching 80 made me feel like I was really an antique that was on my way out. And I suppose I am. But I'll keep busy until it happens.
Reporting from Bloomington, I'm Daniel Robison.